Let's talk about something really intense today. What if the path to true greatness, to doing something really special, is meant to be walked completely alone? We're diving into a philosophy that says to get anywhere meaningful, you first have to embrace being on your own.
It all starts with this feeling, this uncomfortable little truth you just can't shake. You're in a room full of people, you're laughing along, but deep down, you're just not like them. You're on a completely different frequency. And honestly, the more you try to fit in, the more you realize you just don't.
And that feeling, well, it forces your hand. It leads you to a crossroads. So that brings us right to our first section, the choice to be different. This is about that moment you consciously decide to step off the well-trodden path and leave normal in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, look at this. The source material is not messing around here. The contrast is just stark. While everyone else is sleeping in, you're up before the sun. While they're chasing comfort, you're out there actively looking for the hard stuff. Because you get it. That's where the growth is. That's where you find your edge.
But making this choice, oh man, it comes with a real price. And this is a huge warning. The very same people who were cheering you on when you were the underdog, sleeping on the gym floor, they can get real quiet or even hostile the moment you actually start to win. Your success suddenly becomes a bright, shining spotlight on their own choices. And a lot of people just can't handle that.
And all that social friction, all that weirdness from your old circle, it leads you directly into the toughest part of this whole thing. It's a phase the source calls, pretty perfectly, the lonely chapter.
And this right here is the heart of the entire struggle. It's that messy, awkward, in-between stage. See, you've outgrown your past, but you haven't built your future yet. You don't belong with them anymore, but you don't have the results to belong with your heroes either. You are literally in no man's land, all by yourself.
And this is exactly why that chapter hurts so much. It's not just feeling a bit lonely, it's active pressure. It's your friends giving you a hard time because you're not going out. And the worst part? You have absolutely nothing to show for it. No proof that any of your sacrifices are worth it. Just this constant nagging voice telling you to just give up and go back to what's easy.
The source frames this as a fundamental law, almost like gravity. It's not a possibility, it's an inevitability. Think about it. The higher you climb a mountain, the thinner the air gets. Fewer and fewer people can make that journey. Ambition, at its core, is a solitary game. So this is the big question, right? This is what it all comes down to. If this path is so isolating, so full of doubt and pressure, with zero guarantee of a payoff, why on earth would anyone choose this? What could possibly make all that suffering worth it? Well, the answer isn't something you can buy or win. The answer is what you become on the inside during that lonely time. It's all about forging a mind that's so strong, it doesn't just survive the solitude, it actually uses it. It thrives in it.
So how do you do it? The path is laid out, but it's demanding. Step 1, go dark. You have to shut off all the noise, the notifications, the opinions, so you can finally hear yourself think. Then you get brutally honest with yourself. You make a plan. But here's the thing. Planning is the easy part. The real test is execution. That's where the work begins, and that's where you are guaranteed to fail, over and over again.
In that execution, it demands a total shift in your thinking. You have to go from being just interested to being completely obsessed. And this is such a key difference. An interested person trains to win a game. An obsessed person, a Kobe Bryant, trains to dominate the entire sport. They're not looking for life hacks. They're obsessed with every tiny boring detail that everyone else ignores.
This right here is the bedrock principle of that unbreakable mind. You own everything. Your wins, your losses, all of it. There are no excuses. You don't get to blame the economy or your boss or your childhood. You own your problems, 100%, because that's the only way you can own the solutions.
And what does it all boil down to? It's almost disappointingly simple. The source says you don't need to be a genius, you don't need to be some gifted talent, you just have to be 3 things that most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to do the work. That's it. No magic pill, just relentless, day in, day out effort.
And if you do it, if you can actually survive that lonely chapter, and you forge that mindset and you put in the work, you finally get there. You arrive at the payoff.
And the reward, it's two-sided. Of course, there's the external stuff. The cars, the house, the trophies the world can see. But the real prize, the real victory, is internal.
It's that trophy you build inside your own mind, the one that no one can ever take away from you. It's the absolute certainty of who you are and what you're capable of. It's winning so big that the people who doubted you, you just kind of forget they even exist.
This Snoop Dogg quote just captures it all, doesn't it? When you've walked that road by yourself, when you were your only fan, when you were the only one putting in the work, at the end of it all, who do you really have to thank? Yourself. You're the one who believed when no one else did. And this might be the most powerful idea of all. It completely reframes the entire journey. That dark, lonely, painful chapter, it wasn't a punishment. You weren't being buried. You were being planted. All that darkness, all that pressure, it wasn't there to crush you. It was the soil you needed to grow into the person you were always meant to be.
So we'll leave you with that question to think about. We've shown you the path. We've talked about the price. So now you know what it really takes. Knowing the darkness you have to go through to be planted. What are you, personally, willing to endure in order to grow?